ICT है आ रहा है।
नहीं हम कर रही
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second session, my second session of Education Today. Now, as yesterday we discussed about few e-platforms, various e-platforms. So in continuation to that, today I'm going to discuss few more, and another thing which we are going to discuss are the different changes and settings which we can do in our while using these e-platforms. So I would request all of you to type your name with school's name in the chat box, and later on I will share the link for the feedback performer also. So without wasting much time, let me start with the today's session. So I'm going to share the screen for you. So first of all, I would like to thank our director, Dr. Nisha Peshin, DAV CAE, and our worthy principal, Mrs. Jaya Bhardwaj, our cluster head also. And I would like you all to just maintain silence for a few seconds for the Gayatri Mantra also, so you can recite that. Okay, now first of all, I would like to request everyone to please mute yourself. So now in continuation to what we discussed earlier, our today's topic is Education Today Seeds of Hope Part 2. Already I have explained few pros and cons of different e-platforms which we discussed yesterday, which I told you. The two which we took were the main which are used almost worldwide for video conferencing as well as for teaching purpose. These are Zoom Cloud Meeting these days, which is quite popular, and we are also in this workshop through that. And the second one is the Microsoft Teams. But two more are there which can be used for this purpose, and these two are which I shortlisted, but they are not that commonly used by the teachers, especially because of certain limitation in these. So the next one is the let me take that one by one, and I will tell you the features of these. Now, just to go through what we discussed yesterday, we discussed these two platforms. So now the next one will be Cisco's WebEx meetings, and after that Google Meet, and some other I have already told you yesterday. So now first of all, Cisco WebEx meetings. Now Cisco WebEx meeting is one of the oldest video conferencing software and platform used worldwide, and it is also known as the meeting center. Basically, it works inside your web browser with no program to download, install, or configure. Basically, this is more common through the web browser, but these days they have given an app also which you can install in your you can say computer as well as in your mobile, which you can use for the meetings. Now meeting center can be used for audio only calls also. That means voice over internet protocol. That means you can directly call just like telephone calls, and also conference calls. But other than that, mainly it is used for the visual meetings via webcams or other presentation, just like the other platforms are used. Now the next one, what are the features of this? First, when you register first time to the WebEx, then you will get 30-day free trial for WebEx meetings, not more than that. After 30 days, you will have to you can say move to the paid version only. Then there is a limit up to 200 participants, so that is a good thing about it. So large number of people can take part in it. And there is unlimited video meeting, HD meeting. HD video means that the quality of video which one can see through this is quite high. Then again, all the features are similar to what we have discussed in the previous e-platforms, that you can share your screen, you can also share some other like PPTs or some videos, etc. There is a personal meeting room also in this, though Zoom also provide this, but not Zoom provided separately, and this one is provided Cisco WebEx meeting provides it in the app itself. Now the next part, what are the pros or the good things about Cisco WebEx meeting? Now WebEx has a simple user interface. That's the good thing about. So you need not to search for things with difficulty in it. So everything is visible on the screen while using it. Users can easily share their desktop or other documents or any application if they are running on their computer or mobile, and this helps the others to just see what can be done on the computer itself. So it can be used for that purpose. Next, it is quite an easy to change presenter in this. Now this is one of the good thing about it, that if there are say two presenters in a meeting but they are at a different place, like I am a presenter today, but I cannot make anyone else the presenter here. So so I cannot, you can say, transfer my controls to anyone else unless I leave the meeting. But in this case, same is there in Microsoft Teams also, and here also you can change the presenters. That means two different people can take the meeting and take the control of the meeting also. You can create whiteboards, and you can pass even keyboard and mouse control to each other. This is the best thing about it. Next, the video and audio quality is high definition. High definition helps in seeing the details of pictures or anything whatever you are sharing on screen. But one thing here, for HD video and audio quality, you have to have a good quality and good speed of internet. Another, it's a more secure platform because it is one of the older platforms, so they have done lot many changes and their servers are mostly in USA, so it is more secure as compared to the other platforms. It is easy to connect via web app or standalone app in mobiles also, and even in the computer also. Now, what are the limitations of this? First one, WebEx offers 30-day trial only. This is the biggest problem, that once you register, you after 30 days you will have to move to the paid version. So you can't use it after 30 days unless you are ready to pay, and it is not that you can say cheaper also. It is not as customizable, means you can't do many changes in it. Zoom or other wait, some others are joining. Zoom and Microsoft Team are quite customizable and you can do lot many changes in it. But here the problem is it is not that good in customizations also. Passing control sometimes, like when you change the presenter, sometimes it fails to change it. So you have to do it again and again. This leads to wastage of time also. So these are the cons. Now I will shift to the next. So that is the reason that I was not using WebEx meeting for any of the classes because of these limitations. So after 30 days, because lockdown was more than 30 days and classes are going on for more than 30 days, so you cannot use it after that. Now the next one, which is quite common with the schools, can be common you can say with the schools, is Google Meet. Let me first explain the features of this. Google Meet is basically an upgraded version of free Hangout app. Earlier its name was Hangouts, but now it has been named as Google Meet. And it is more suitable for business applications like webinars and video conferencing, but you can use it for the classes also. Now, with Google Meet, you can host video calls with up to 150 people when you are in a paid version. You can collaborate anytime, anywhere with the suite of tools for education. But I will tell you what is necessary for this and when you can use the suite of tools for education in Google Meet. The biggest thing is that you have to have the G Suite registered for education with your school. Otherwise, the free version will not give you the you can say good number of features. It will be just like a video call which you can do with your and share screen, that's all. You can't do other things, you can't do many changes in it. Whereas if your school is registered with the G Suite, then it is free for you these days and you can use with more features. You can share documents and so many other things. Now what are the good things about this? You can set it up faster than class sits down, means just registered with Google, you can use your same ID which is registered with Google, and you can just start your class directly by just clicking on the Google Meet app. It is simple to set up and centrally managed at any scale. That is what is the meaning of the first. Now another thing, Google Classroom, which is now used by our school also, that can also be used along with Google Meet for exchanging the documents, giving work, taking attendance, etc. Full productivity suite includes at no cost to school. So this is good thing about it, that you can use all the features if your school is registered with the Google Suite for education. Now it is best in class, security included, because Google is known for its security, so this is why it is the best one as far as security is concerned, without spending any extra cost. Features let teachers collaborate one-on-one or with the whole class also. You can do your meetings with your teachers, your colleagues, and even with the whole class in one go. Other pros are it's totally free these days for schools. I'll tell you how to get it. Next, you can run it from your Gmail. This is how you can run these days. So when you open your Gmail account and open the inbox, you will see on the left hand side, just on the bottom left hand side, start the Google Meet. So that is the free version. So you can use this for the classes for as much time as possible. There is no time limit in this, but there are few limitations which I faced, which I saw in it. So that's why I refrain from using it. But if your school is registered with the G Suite for education, then you can easily use this Google Meet for that purpose also. So it's very easy to set up and use. I have already told you its interface is quite clean. That means there are not too many things on the screen while using it. It requires a stable and relatively high bandwidth. So when you are using it, it requires high bandwidth, means fast internet connection. Now screen sharing is also available. Some other features which are already discussed yesterday and even in the previous Cisco WebEx, same are there. In free version you can connect up to 100 people, but in paid version you can go up to 150. Now it is integration with Google, so all the Google apps can be integrated with Google Meet in this. Now what are the negative points of this? You can only access Meet via Google Chrome web browser. There is no separate app for the Google Meet for computers. For mobiles you do have an app, but for computers it doesn't have any app. Next, also it might create delays for participants who are unfamiliar with Meet. Still there are minor considerations, but you just by going through it and downloading Google Chrome, you can easily overcome these delays. So it happens right in the start, but once you are familiar with it, you can easily overcome these problems. So another negative is that Meet does not include some of the valuable features that other services offer, like whiteboard tools. You can't use whiteboard tools, means you can't use the board where you can write on it, which is online whiteboard we can say. So if you have digital writing pad, you can't use this whiteboard tool in that. And you can also not do poll and survey options through the Google Meet. So you need to use separate Google Forms for that. So there are some limited controls with the host even. So these are some thing. Now file sharing is not the greatest, means you can't share all the files. You have to then go to Google Classroom to share the remaining work with your students while using Google Meet. So you can use it for screen sharing, you can use it for video calling, but if it is paid version, then only you can share most of the files. Otherwise in free version these features are not there. Now that was about the different platforms. Now I will start with certain settings which are very important whenever you are using any of these platforms, to make it more safe and for better experience while using it. Because when Zoom came into play, that time many of the teachers faced a lot of problems in handling that software because of lack of knowledge and not proper understanding how to use it, how to make it more secure. So I'm going to explain few of these settings in today's session. I will start with the Zoom Cloud Meeting. I will only take those settings which are necessary to make it more safer. The first one is that as soon as you sign in and start the meeting, the first thing immediately you should do is press this security option here. So you will see these things. Then in this where it is written allow participants to share screen, chat, rename themselves, unmute themselves, the first thing you should uncheck all these, because by default these three are checked: chat, rename and unmute themselves. So you must uncheck these, unmute themselves and rename themselves, so you can easily see who is joining your and who is trying to disturb your class. Because I have seen that some students or some people who enter the Zoom Cloud Meeting by taking ID from someone, they rename themselves with the name of some other people who are already there and then start putting something in chat which is not required actually, or they can even share screens also. So you must uncheck this share screen also, so that they cannot put anything on the screen even if they want to. This is the first thing. Then the next setting is in the share screen. So when you want to share screen, then keep in mind that when these settings already are there, so you need not to change any of these settings. So when you press this arrow here, you can see advanced sharing option. So when you press this, you will see certain you can say boxes clicked there. So do not change that. There is no need to change it. It's already good in the way you can use it. Now a very important thing, that how to do the changes in the settings. One very good thing about this is that when you are sharing screen, I'll explain how to make it more you can say better experience when you are using it. Now when you are before starting, you should do certain changes in the settings. Here when you see the first window, just click here on the settings, and after that you will see this, and certain changes I will show you further. But when you are sharing screen, you can see when you share screen, you will see these windows here, but a very important part is these two options here. One is written as share computer sound, second is optimize screen sharing for video clip. You must click onto these and they should remain ticked, because if you are have kept this unticked, that is optimize screen sharing for video clip, what you will find is that when you are playing any video on the screen, from your side it looks as if you are playing it perfectly, but when the other person who is attending your meeting is watching that video, it will break the video, means it will come in frame by frame, so it will not be a continuous video. And at the same time, sometimes we forget to click this share computer sound, so even though video is already on, but sound will not be there, so the other person will not be able to hear any kind of sound. So I just advise you to click onto these both, so computer will do whatever necessary to make the video a perfect video while playing. Another thing that in the settings I would like to explain, as when you press this setting button here and then go to the video settings I am talking only about. So these are certain settings which you can do, which will make your session perfect, because if you do any other changes, then they may cause certain problems while playing videos or showing PPTs. But if you keep these changes as they are visible on the screen, then you can easily go through your session without any flaw, and the quality of the video will also be better, and even while recording it in the end, it will be of good quality. So I would advise everyone to keep these changes instead of the default which are there, because in default everything is auto, but when you keep these changes like this, then it actually makes it better. The video quality, your facial quality, and the quality of the person who is taking the class, that will also be good, and even the quality of the PPT which you share will also be great. Now on the you can say mobile, how to do these changes. This is mobile screen. Once you start with the class, so you press these three dots, you will see these settings here. After that, just you will see these things. So when these are the meeting settings which you can keep always. So if anything else is there, you should change it immediately, because these are more or less same kind of settings which we want, like rename themselves should be in off position, unmute themselves should be in off position, share screen should also be in off position, and chat with host only. Here generally it is with everyone, but you must change it to host only, so that if somebody is trying to chat with among themselves, if students want to chat among themselves, then that will not happen during the class, so it will not disturb other students also. Next one is that when you are scheduling your meeting in the Zoom cloud meeting, at that time do few of these things. I always advise that do not use personal meeting ID unless you are 100% sure that with whom you are sharing your meeting IDs. So do not ever use personal meeting ID. In fact, in place of that, you should generate ID every time when you schedule your meeting. And here also, if you want to go with meeting, say more than 40 minutes, then you must set the time accordingly. Like here it is 11 to 11:30. You can set it to 11 to 12 p.m. so that even if your meeting ends after 40 minutes, the people can still join after 40 minutes, first by leaving and then again rejoining the meeting. So this helps in continuation of class for 1 hour almost. Now there is, and also the password should be different every time. It should not be a simple password. So every time keep a different password, and do not keep it in off position. Meeting password should always be there, because if you keep password off, that means there is no password for your meeting, so anyone will join your meeting without any password. And there are few other things like host video, participant video. These are the changes you can see easily on screen. You can do. Now the next part is the Microsoft Teams. Now this is little more tedious, because Microsoft Team is initially it looks little difficult to set it up, but once it is set completely, then it is very easy to use it. So those who want to use Microsoft Teams, the first thing is they want to register it. The biggest problem with Microsoft Team while registration is that they will not allow you to use this for free unless you are using it for the work. If you are trying to use it for school, they will not even allow you to register. See how to register it. First, you search on Google Microsoft Team register. Then it will the first option which you will see in the search engine. Click on to that, and you will see this thing. Enter your email. So first window which you will open before you get started. Now go to get Teams for free and choose the sign up for free. This is very important, that instead of selecting sign in, you must, or sign up, you must select the option sign up for free. If you only select sign up, because there will be two options, then you will be directed to some other page which will not help you. So you must sign up for free button, and then you will get this window where you have to enter the email with which you have already registered with Microsoft. So before starting with Microsoft Team, first you need to register yourself with Microsoft Store. So because every time when you use laptop, you are already allowed to register with Microsoft. But if you are not, then you can enter this email here, or you can create your account before starting this process. So once you enter, then you go to the next page. You will see this window. Now here there are three options: for school, for friends and family, and for work. I always request, if you want to use free version, then instead of selecting school, because if you select school, they will ask for school's email address, which is a business account, so you can't use that. But if you are using for at home, then it's better select the option for work. So once you select for work, then you will be taken to the next. Like all these three, I have already told you that if you select for school, you will be prompted to enter school email address, which is not possible at this time. So the best one is select the work. So then you will be taken to the next step, where you will be asked to verify your information in this step. So where you will be asked your name, your company name. Company name you can put any, like I have put HPSO, you can put that also. So once you fill your name and other requested info, then click the setup Teams. So this is what you will see. You can select your country also here. Now after that, you wait for some time. You will see that Microsoft will create Microsoft Teams account for you. Now once it is there, then it will tell you to download the app. So you can use download Windows app. Click here, so you will get a link, and you will download the app, install it in your system. That is a standalone app which you can use without opening your browser at the time of use. Now once it is there, then it will also prompt you that invite people to join your organization in Teams. So then after that, you need to just follow these steps. You can ask for the email IDs with which the other members whom you want to add in your team, and then add by clicking here. Once you open the app, this is going to be visible here. Create team. Then after that, build a team from scratch. That means right from the start. Once you press this button, then you will see this. You will have to enter the team name, like I have entered test team. And then you can add the class or other description about the team, for what purpose you are making this team, and then press this create button here. Once you do that, your team will be visible, like here it is visible. Once the team is there, then you can add members to the team. by typing their name or email ID with which they have registered themselves to the Microsoft Teams app. So you can add members right at the start. You can edit the members later on also, and once you keep adding, then your team will be ready within few minutes. But for that you need to ask for the email IDs of your members whom you want to be in your team. So once it is there, then you can also do these changes by managing team. You can add member, you can delete member, etc. Now how to and there is another way. If you want to call someone for to join the team, then just take the join or create the team, click here. It will show you a link and share it on the email to the person. He can easily join it by receiving that email. Now how to start the meeting. Once you are set with your team, how to start? First press the test, then you will see this general here, and then press this video icon here. When you press this video icon, you will see this window here. Now add the title of the class here. Which class? Like if I start with science class, so I will write here science class, and then press this meet now button, and you will see the full screen window here. And after that your meeting starts. Immediately you will see on mobile, if somebody is attending, once you start the meeting from here, the person who opens the app in mobile will see a video icon next to his team like this, if he is a team member, and he will have to press this, and then after that he will go to this page. And on website, you on in computer you will see this kind of interface, and on mobile you will see this kind of interface. You have to press join, and after that the meeting starts. And during the meeting, as soon as the meeting starts, the first thing you should do always is press the members who are already currently in the meeting. From these three dots you will see these options here. Then press make an attendee. This will help to keep everyone in control, in your control, because they can't do any changes in on the screen. So once you make everyone attendee, they will just attend your class. They can raise their hand from here, but they can't do anything else. They can't control your screen. Another thing which is very important is that when you are sharing screen or like a PPT, what to do. So when you share the screen, just like you share in Zoom, one thing you always do here is, like here you see on the left side, you will see this kind of window here where it is written stop presenting. Stop presenting means you will stop the sharing, but here this eye is open here, so you must keep it closed by clicking onto it, because if you keep it open, then what will happen, before you complete your PPT, the others will be able to see all the pages of your PPT. So you must click onto it so that it changes like this. Then you will see a private viewing disabled, so participant can't move through your shared present on their own. So you are now in control of your PPT, so you can move page by page like this. So these are some of the changes. Then another thing is that you can also make someone presenter here by who is a member. Suppose he is an attendee, click on onto this, you will see this. Instead of member, you can make a presenter. So if you click on to make a presenter, that person can also present what they want to. If somebody wants to say something, if somebody wants to present their presentation, they can do from their end once you make them a presenter. So then the control will go to that person also. It will not take away controls from you, but the control will go to that person also to some extent, and they can share it. So these are some of the changes. And one thing in the end, if you want to take the attendance that who attended your meeting in the Microsoft team, there is an option here on the top, which if you click, it will help in downloading the whole attendance list in PDF form, and you can keep it safe, and that helps in keeping a record of that who attended your meeting, who has not attended your meeting from the team. So that is what is all. So now I am going to share the link for the feedback performer, and if somebody has any questions, they can ask. So I hope you all received the form. Teachers can unmute themselves also. If somebody has any doubt, they can ask. See, there was a question yesterday by some teacher who said that if some student doesn't have any say computer, mobile or anything like that, no access to internet, so then actually then we can't help during these days, because whatever we are doing, that is online classes or anything like that, that is possible only when there is an internet connectivity. So we can't bear with that. There is no solution to it. Anyone else has any other queries? Yes, teachers, they can type their questions if they have any kind of query. I have shared the link of the Google form feedback performer. I hope you all must have received it. If somebody haven't received, they can let me know. I will share it again. Yes, teachers, is there any query about this? So we are left with 2 minutes or so. So there are 2 more sessions, one more session today and one more session will be tomorrow, which I will be taking. Today's session will be taken by Anjali ma'am in afternoon. So in tomorrow's session, I'll be taking few very interesting things which we might well be using already, but some of you don't know from where can we get it and how to use it for our students. So if you do all these settings which I have told you today, that will help in sharing your content in more effective way while your class is going on. Otherwise, sometimes we keep changing the settings, and this leads to wastage of time and our purpose doesn't get accomplished. So what I want you to just go through and remember these settings in especially Zoom. I'm talking about, because Microsoft Team, if you want to use it, is free and there is no time limit in it. But once you start using it, this will be a great help, because sometimes in the time when you are time bound for 40 minutes and abruptly the meeting ends and you are in between some solution or some while explaining something, and suddenly the meeting will end. So instead of that, I always advise you that choose that platform which always have no time limit. And though features are more or less same in most of these e-platforms, but still you can opt for the best one. And for me, what I feel is the best one is Microsoft Teams, because it has no time limit. And I can go through my topics very easily without any problem, and video quality of Microsoft Team is also quite good. So anything else if anyone wants to ask? We are left with very less time. So almost okay. Thank you very much, and let's meet in the next session also. I'll be taking when you have the you can say schedule of the meeting. And I thank our principal ma'am also for giving me the chance to take this workshop. Thank you very much, and also our director Dr. Nisha Peshin for giving us chance to take these workshops. Thank you very much. And now, okay, thank you very much. So please fill the feedback form also.